Alright, video update time. So, Christoph and I have just been chilling at the house. We've got no work to do. We're making plans to move to Eugene, Oregon. We've just been cleaning the cabin, packing, and we had to come to town to take care of a few things, to organize our storage unit so we can put more stuff in it, and to renew a couple things to help us out with money, basically, like food stamps and such. So, currently, because we don't have much money, we slept in our van last night. It was fucking cold. Yes, my sweet girl, too. Can't leave her at home by herself, unfortunately. So, here we are. It is a little after 8 a.m. It is still cold. The sun is shining, though. It's rising. And today we're gonna go print off a bunch of resumes and go get food stamps and then go home, probably. But enough about us. Here's what has happened at our home. I guess technically he's our landlord, but our boss as well that we were working for. So he was letting us rent this cabin that's on his property. Not bad at all. It's a great cabin, got a wood stove, very nice. The only problem is apparently he has decided that he is angry with us or something, but he doesn't take it out in a very angry way. He's very subtle. I don't even think subtle is the right word. He's very passive, I guess. Passive-aggressive. Or I don't even think that's the right word. Anyway, he basically harassed us day before yesterday, and it pissed us off to the point where we had to come to town. So, he decided he was going to go to town for a little bit himself and take care of some things. We were like, alright, no problem. He was like, do you mind keeping an eye on the fire in the wood stove and, restocking it with wood and keeping it warm? We were like, yeah, we can do that. So he leaves. We keep the fire going for a couple more hours, and then, Christoph goes down to the cabin to relax for a little bit, and I told him I was going to stay up at the house and use the Wi-Fi a little bit longer. So I leave 15-20 minutes after Christoph, and before I left, I checked the fire, made sure it still had wood in it, made sure it was still burning and going, whatever, and it was. There was still wood in it, it was still burning just fine. Went down to the cabin. I was down to the cabin for maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops, and Lance comes home. Okay, he comes down to our cabin, he's like, I thought I told you guys to stoke my fire. I'm like, we did. It should still have hot coals in it. He's like, no, I have to restart my fire. We both know that he's fucking full of shit, but whatever. Okay, so, maybe 30 minutes to an hour later, he comes back and he's like, hey, where's the tool that you guys used the other day to fix the ditch in the road? I need to go back and fix some more parts of the ditch so the water can flow through, blah, blah, blah. We were like, oh, yeah, it's down there where we left it. No big deal. He goes, he fixes the thing, he comes back, maybe another 45 minutes to an hour later, and he's like, hey, I need to measure the glass panel on your wood stove. I was like, oh, why? He's like, oh, well, he has another couple living in a second cabin he has on his property next door to his house. Our cabin is here's his house, here's our cabin, here's their house next to his house, or whatever. Anyway, they are getting, apparently, they're replacing one of the wood stoves in their house with another one that he has that he's not using, and it needs a new glass paneling or some shit. So he needed to measure our glass panel, and I was like, whatever, just measure it, get out. So he measured it, and talked a little bit, and left. And then, motherfucker comes back, another hour later. It's 7:30 p.m. at night, okay? All of our lights are off. The door's locked. Christoph's already laid down in bed, passed out, because we've been drinking, just trying to relax. I've not really been drinking, had a couple shots in me, not much. But then Lance comes back and knocks on the fucking door again, and he's like, hey, where's my electric heater? He really has an electric heater that's as big as my face. It's not worth shit. And he was like, I just don't want anyone using it. We're like, oh, well, we had to use it yesterday. When we were talking to him the day before yesterday, I was like, yeah, we had to use it this morning to, cook breakfast and be warm because we didn't have any wood. He's like, oh, okay, but it runs up power really quickly. $20 is used up in 5 minutes, basically. I'm like, oh, well, we didn't use it for very long. We just used it long enough to cook our breakfast and then come up here to talk to you at the house. No biggie. He's like, oh, okay, I just want it back. So we're like, whatever, we gave it back. But the fucking bullshit part is that little bitty space heater, yeah, it uses the shit out of the electricity and runs the bill up like crazy, but guess what? Guess what, motherfuckers? At one point, he was too lazy to go gather wood for himself. At one point, he ran out of propane. So guess what? At one point, he used that little bitty shitty-ass electric heater to warm the living room for himself for like several days, if not a week straight. And then he's gonna bitch at us for using it for like an hour at our cabin because we don't have any goddamn wood? Are you fucking kidding me? I don't know what trip he was on, day before yesterday, why he decided to come and harass us 4 different times in less than 3 hours, okay? Less than 3 hours. Pisses us off because, Kristoff's drinking, I'm drinking, and I think that the big issue with him is that he has had a lot of people in the past who have done stupid things on his property to him, to his mother, when he had old caregivers and such. He had this one chick that would show up drunk all the time, staggering out of her car and shit. But he knows we drink. He found out because, we have bottles down our cabin, but all of the bottles, I was like, I'm tired of seeing empty bottles just sit around our house because you don't want to throw them out without, him seeing them because you don't want him to know we drink. So I did the smart thing. I put all the recycling, all the glass bottles into one bag on our back porch. We also had a garbage can back there with a garbage bag in it. Took up the whole fucking can because it's like one of those giant industrial bags or whatever. And so, our boss's dog came down to our cabin, dug through our trash while we were gone on vacation for New Year's. And he had to come down and clean the mess up. And when he did, he cleaned up all the trash, took all the recycling, and he, disposed of it. He took it to the recycling place, took the trash to the dumpster, whatever. Which is 45 to an hour drive from here. Or, from where we were living on his property. So, of course, we hadn't done it. Of course, we didn't do it because our van, we just never did it. Whatever, no excuses. We just didn't. But then he did it and was like, yeah, I had to take your recycling out and shit. And that kind of pisses us off. Yeah, I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he did it. But at the same time, Kristoff is not happy with it because Lance is like, oh, yeah, I'm not happy I had to do that because, the bag was full of alcohol bottles. Motherfucker doesn't like drinking, but yet, even if we are at our cabin that we are paying for from him, and, we wait till it gets dark outside. We usually go up there, work for him, stay sober the entire time we're working. Smoking weed doesn't count, whatever. But we don't drink at his house. We don't drink in front of his face. We don't drink near him or anything. The only time we drink was when we're at our cabin in our safe place sanctuary, okay? And he's just been on this, I don't know. We offered him a trade. We were like, hey, we will trim you, 3 pounds for free, which is basically the amount of our rent. And he was like, well, I'd rather just give you the month for free. We're like, oh, okay, no big deal, I guess. So we're going to be moving to Oregon soon anyway. And now we have to, we don't have to, but now we kind of have to talk to him and find a way to make some extra money from him because we don't have shit. So that's that, apparently. Unfortunately, like I said, we have business to take care of today and then go home back to him. But, I don't know. We've got 2, maybe 3 weeks left up there to take care of all of our business before we go home. No big deal. Sorry, the camera's moving. It's cold and I'm shaking. I'm just sitting in our van. Like I said, we slept in it last night. But I think things are gonna go good. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say to that. I'll definitely post more soon, keep everyone updated if anyone's watching.